got a question from Leah, and she asked, would love to hear how goals and routines change through phases of parenthood. That's what we're going to dive into right now. Welcome to the Daily Effort Podcast. My name is Sam. Welcome back to the show. If you've listened before, if it's your first time listening, welcome. What this whole podcast is about, it's about uncomplicating success. And really, when you think of success, whatever success means to you, it's always going to come down to simple things that you need to do on a daily basis to get to where you want to go. It's those simple tasks, it's those simple daily efforts that you need to do to be able to level up your life and reach what you actually want to, whatever that is to you. Now, I still have a long ways to go with my life. There's still a lot of different things that I want to achieve, but so far I've been able to go and achieve things in my life, and I want to be able to give you what I've seen to work for me so that you can apply it to your life and move in the direction that you want to go. And then as I continue to go and continue to achieve things, well, I want to make sure that you get to see the whole journey, you get to see the successes, the failures, then also I get to give you more things as I get better and better and better. So that's what this whole podcast is about. If it's your first time listening, as far as how often we roll episodes out, I will roll out an episode every single Monday at 5 a.m. Central Time. I will put it on Spotify. I'm working to get things on Apple as well, which it should already be on there. I'm going to double check that. I have to make sure it's published. But then also I will roll out an episode on YouTube as well. Now, my only ask is that if you do get value from this episode, you just make sure you share it on social media or share it with a friend, because that's the only way that I'm able to grow the podcast. I want to continue to grow it so that I can just get this information out to more people so that, well, more people can win if they so choose to, apply the things that we talk about and really continue to work in the direction that they want to go. So that's what this whole podcast is about. And that's my only ask is if you really, my only ask to you, if you get value from it, is to share it. So what we're going to be talking about today, I got a question from Leah, and she asked, would love to hear how goals and routines change through phases of parenthood. And then she brought up Amy, my wife. She says going from competing to being a mom and how fitness and nutrition looks different. So that's an example. So that's what we're going to dive into right now. So getting started with this, when it comes to just goals and routines and how they change through phases of life, well, I won't be able to completely talk about everything from Amy's perspective necessarily. I can only talk about it from being able to view it from my perspective. But what I noticed, let's just take Amy before she was pregnant and before we were trying to have kids. Well, she worked out very, very, very regularly. And she did her bodybuilding competition. She did the wellness category, and she loved it. She really enjoyed it. Then when we started working to have kids, the biggest thing that really changed is just making sure her body was as healthy as possible from a hormone standpoint, because coming out of the bodybuilding show and everything, she had a phenomenal coach, Kelsey Hexum. So if you need a good bodybuilding coach, highly recommend Kelsey. But when it comes to the reverse and everything, she did a pretty good job of it. And when it comes to that, she was healthy. We got pregnant pretty quickly. Honestly, it didn't take us long. We weren't even trying for a year. It was a couple months. We were very, very fortunate, because I know a lot of people, they'll try for a while before they're able to have kids or even get pregnant or anything like that. And with her pregnancy, because I'll talk about this, is because during her pregnancy, she had some complications she was having some heart issues and different things like that, and she had to wear a heart monitor. So there was a while that she was not even able to work out. And the first trimester was very, very tough. And really during that time, from a fitness and nutrition standpoint, because I know Leah, she was keeping it specific to that fitness and nutrition realm a little bit. Well, Amy just focused on doing what the doctor said, honestly. And that's the top priority during that season of life when she was pregnant. And I can't speak for moms, but I just do know every pregnancy is completely different. And it's just going to depend for every single person. However, the main focus was just making sure she rests. She couldn't get out and get her heart rate really, really high because it was a little bit of not a high risk pregnancy, but it was a little bit of a risky pregnancy just due to some different things. But ends up Layla's came out very, very healthy. Everything was fine. But during that season of life when she was pregnant, she did not work out. It's like we can go on walks and different things like that, but especially this is really where she started to hate the Missouri heat, is when she was pregnant. And she just did not stay out in the heat very long because she just couldn't. So that's what a snapshot of what it really looked like when she was pregnant. Then after she had Layla, and I talk about all of this, and I'll be talking about from my end, as far as how things change through the seasons of life. But when it came to postpartum, well, she wasn't able to hop back into things very super quick. Honestly, that's another thing that depends person to person. And during that time, she really just focused on doing what she could from an exercise standpoint. Now she can work out just fine. It's like her and I will do a workout together pretty much every single weekend, and then she'll do stuff during the week. But she didn't get back into it right away. It's like there's a lot of recovery that has to happen after having kids, and a lot more than I even realized. There's a lot more that happens mentally and physically, just hormonally after you have a kid and everything. So it's pretty wild, all the changes that a woman's body goes through after having kids and while also just being pregnant. But with this piece, that's what the fitness side looked like. Is she just is doing it right now. Afterwards, she's doing about a lot of walks. She's doing 1 to maybe 3 training sessions, resistance training sessions a week. It really depends. And then from a nutrition perspective, honestly, nutrition, I can't exactly remember what it looked like from a standpoint of when she was pregnant. I know there's just, honestly, it's a little bit of a blur when I think back to all of that. But I will tell you, once we had Layla, she has had to cut out gluten and dairy because Layla was colicky. She had colic because she had silent reflux that we did not know about. And when it came to that piece, well, she just had to make the choice to remove the gluten and dairy because it has helped Layla. And it's important to note this because I know I had posed a question at the beginning of this episode of do you still work towards your goals even though there's different seasons in life, and even though there's things that come up, obstacles and stuff like that. And Amy's primary objective is still being healthy and still being as physically fit as she can be during this time. So she still tracks her food. She still is very religious with that. Now, calories look a little different because she is breastfeeding, so she's consuming more because she has to have a good milk supply for Layla. But this priority is still being healthy, and healthy is going to look different at different times for people. It's going to look, especially for women, it will look different while you're going through pregnancy. It will look different postpartum. There's just a lot of things that go into play. But the main thing that I have taken away just watching Amy go through all of this and what I've learned, and hopefully this helps you out, Leah, is, and for anybody else that's listening, is do what you can. Do what you can. And that's a whole, coming back to the premise of the podcast, uncomplicating success. If you look at anybody that has achieved any level of success, well, no matter what is going on, it's like they make sure that they can do what needs to be done to move forward. Whatever moving forward looks like to them. For some people, moving forward is going to look like working towards a fitness goal. For some people, it's building a business, like whatever it is, you just have to do whatever it takes to move forward. And the actions will look different at different seasons in life. So that's Amy's side of it. For my side of it, especially during when she was pregnant, nothing really changed for me. It was exactly the same. Still worked out, everything like that. I would say the biggest thing that changed for me when Layla came along I had to pivot and help Amy as much as I could. And still she had the brunt of things when it came to taking care of Layla, because Layla wouldn't take a bottle. She took a bottle like when she was first born, but then it's now like she only breastfeeds. She doesn't take a bottle. So a lot of that work still falls on Amy quite a bit. So nothing has changed too much. Early on, my workouts were shorter, and I talked about that a couple episodes ago, but I did very short workouts. I only had about 20 or 30 minutes of workout, and that's what I did. It's like I got in and got after it and did what I could, but I still tracked my food, still did all of that. Nothing really changed. And I struggle at this point in time. I can understand things changing for a lady, especially when they have kids. I really can't understand how things change for the guy, in my opinion. Now, I can understand maybe how things could change if the baby's not breastfeeding and it's being bottle fed. So then maybe cool. It's like the guy can even take more responsibility. The husband can take more responsibility and help out even more. But I really just don't see how a guy can start to gain weight once he has a family, once he has kids. It's like that should be the last thing that you want to do, because that means you're getting complacent and you're going backwards. You're not getting better. And that is not the objective. So how I view the roles, at least, and this is a touchy subject, but it is what it is. It's just how I view things. But when it comes to the roles in the household for, let's say, Amy and myself, well, Amy, since I work full time and she's a stay-at-home mom, it's like her primary focus is taking care of Layla, running the household, and everything like that. And Lord willing, if we have more kids, it's like that'll still be the thing. It's like training the kids, taking care of the house. And it's like, when I get home, boom, it's like I hop in and start helping out as much as I can. But that's her primary role. My primary role is to make sure I do good in my career so I can supply a great life for her and the kids, and then also continue to work to be the best version of myself so I can be a great example for them. And for Amy, it's like it's really the same thing. It's continuing to work to be the best version of herself and the healthiest version of herself so she can keep being there for Layla and then also our future kids. And that's how things are laid out. And somewhere along the way, and I'll speak more so from the guy perspective here, but somewhere along the way, we just think it's okay to let ourselves go. And that's just not how it should be. Like, guys should work very, very hard to be in the best shape possible to be there long-term for the kids, and then set a good example for them and be able to hold a high standard. It's like, because they should be the role model. It's like the parents should be the role model for the kids. The kids should look up to the parents. And when that doesn't happen anymore, okay, there's an issue. And I understand there's those transitions in life, but that is what must be done. And parents, when they have kids, there's more of a responsibility to not slide backwards from a physical fitness standpoint, because as soon as you slide back from a physical fitness standpoint, everything else starts to slide backwards. That's how it is. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are wanting to stay committed and move towards a specific goal, well then, no matter what comes up, you still have to figure out, well, how can you move towards it? How can you still reach that level of success that you personally want? So when it comes to just how things look different just through seasons of life, especially parenthood, that's the biggest thing that's changed. For me, nothing's really changed that much. Early on, it has. When a second kid comes, like maybe something does change, but not a lot will actually change. And then when it comes to how things changed for Amy, a lot more changes. There's a lot of other things that will go on. There's other factors that come into play. She has to pivot a little more and do things a little differently than I did, because her main goal, especially during the pregnancy, is being as healthy as possible, making sure the baby's healthy. And then after pregnancy, like postpartum, the goal still stays the same, making sure she's healthy so she can give the baby, in this case Layla, what it needs to be healthy. So I know this episode, it's a little shorter, and it's more focused on parenthood. However, you can still take a lot away from this if you're someone that doesn't have kids, because the biggest thing you can take away right now is that you have all the time in the world to go and do whatever you want. And most of the time, people will think, oh, I don't have a lot of time. And I'm just going to call bullcrap. It's like, if you don't have kids, you have plenty of time. And then when you do have kids, you'll see that you really don't have time. So you should be more concerned, if you don't have kids, with developing the skill sets and being as good as you can be now, because then time is just going to get less and less and less if you do decide to have kids in the future. So the main thing here is develop yourself. When obstacles come up, well, then you have to make sure that you do whatever it takes to continue to move forward and accomplish the things that you want in life. That's the main takeaway point here for all of you that maybe are listening and don't have kids at all. Now, I know a lot of you that are listening, you do have kids. There's a few of you who don't, but I feel like I have more parents that listen. So I know this message will land, and I encourage y'all, I say this all the time, leave a comment, drop a comment down as far as like what your take is on this. How did parenthood change for you or really your just goals on the fitness and nutrition side change for you when you became a parent? I know some of you have had some really incredible just journeys from the standpoint of maybe you let yourself go and then you came back from it. And if that happened, that's fine. It's like, because you came back from it. If you're listening right now, and I'll speak to the dads here for a second, if you're a dad right now and you're letting yourself go and you're not physically fit, well, then you need to get your crap together. Like you really do, because it's your responsibility to take care of the whole family and be there for them. I know sometimes the wife will work. It's like, I know a lot of wives do, but still, it's like you're still the leader, the protector, the supplier for things. It's like you should be setting the example. You should be the one out in front setting the standard for what it means to be a great member of society. And if you're letting yourself go, it's like you're just not setting a great example. And then they're just going to find someone who is setting an example and is in an example that you want them to take. Because if you're not setting a good example, well, then what are they going to know to look at? It's like they're just going to assume that is completely normal, and then they're going to go find someone that holds a low standard because it's just what they've seen. And then the ripple effect that happens from that is just crazy, because then they will have kids, and if they don't decide to, be physically fit, well, then that just carries down to the kids. So there's a big responsibility, not only on the dad, but also the mom as well, when it comes to the roles in raising kids and being parents. It's like you still have to take care of yourself. It's like, and it doesn't mean that you have to take a lot of time. You take whatever time that you have. It could be 3 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 15. It could be 20. But you got to pour into yourself to make sure you are the best and make sure you don't fall into complacency. So I hope this was helpful. If y'all have more questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to address them. Or, you can shoot me a DM. You can shoot me an email. If you have my cell phone number, you can shoot me a text as far as like anything you want me to address on the podcast. Again, I want to keep the whole topic centered around really things that people need to do to go and reach the level of success that they want in their life. Maybe it's something that you struggled with or are struggling with that you would love for me to discuss. But whatever it is, pass it along. I'm happy to talk about it. But other than that, I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great week. So go out. If you need something from me, please let me know. But other than that, have an amazing day, like I said, and God bless.